2003 was a strange time for the WWE. I don't know how to explain it, but it was so inconsistent. Like 1 month we'd have a banger-ass pay-per-view, and then we'd have Judgment Day. Man, is this one of the weirdest pay-per-views I've ever watched. Now, typically, pay-per-view reviews are one of my favorite things to do on this channel, but there was times during this show that I felt like blowing my brains out. So without further ado, let's hop straight into this with the opening contest, which was a 6-man tag match between Cena and the FBI, consisting of Stamboli and Chuck Palumbo, versus the team of Chris Benoit, Rhino, and Spanky. Who the fuck is Spanky, you may ask? It's just the Brian Kendrick from 2003. And this was a weird match to say the least. I mean, what kind of variety of wrestlers is this? And why is Spanky teaming with Rhino and Benoit? I honestly think you have more star power on that team if you just take Spanky completely out of the equation. As far as the match itself goes, though, it wasn't the worst I've ever seen in my life. It was quick as hell, though, maybe ran like 6 minutes. So quick, in fact, that Rhino never even got tagged in. Cena and the FBI would pick up the win, and I'd be lying if I told you I gave a single fuck. Okay, opener, I guess. No one was really expecting anything major, so this one gets a 1 star out of 5 rating for me. It wasn't really moving me. The next segment was Steve Austin and Eric Bischoff fighting over who gets the right to be getting wasted in the skybox. And I'll be honest, this segment was so trash and just not funny at all. And the worst part is they made it stretch throughout the entire night. I'm going to just sum it up for you so I never have to come back to it this entire video. Austin was feeding Bischoff hot dogs, pickles, and beer throughout the entire event, and Bischoff threw up at the very end of the show. You know, a throw-up joke. Haha, so funny. The next match was a bit of a step up, but still robbery to say the least. It was a tag team contest between Scott Steiner and Tess, who come out to a fire-ass mashup of their 2 theme songs. They're taking on La Resistance, a very fresh La Resistance consisting of Rene Dupree and Sylvain Grenier. They had just made their debut a couple weeks prior to the event at the expense of Scott Steiner, and they'd continue getting involved in each other's matches, eventually leading to this one, which was pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. There was some good little spots in this match. At the very beginning, however, Rene Dupree and Tess would exchange slaps, and it looked like Rene hit Tess just a little too hard, and he answered back. Was this a receipt? Please let us know, Rene Dupree. The finish to this match was cool, though. Sylvain would dropkick Tess into Stacy, leading her to get caught by Steiner, and this would distract Tess and ultimately cost him the match. And at the very end, Stacy was checking up on Steiner, touching his face and shit, when suddenly Tess would just yank her off of him, almost ripping her arm off in the process. I give this match 2 stars out of 5. I didn't have high hopes for this one, but it low-key delivered. These guys made the most of what they had. Good storytelling and definitely better than the opener. But as far as these 2 teams go, Steiner and Tess would eventually break up and start a feud revolved around Stacy's managerial services, if you know what I mean. And La Resistance, well, they would go on to be a huge part of the tag division in 04. Like, I swear these guys were on every pay-per-view defending their tag team titles. After that match, we got a pair of backstage segments. The first one was Mr. America and the greatest cruiserweight champion of all time, Gregory Helms, having an identity crisis. Helms would call him out saying he thought he was Hogan, and Mr. America would accuse him of being the Hurricane. But the next one was way funnier. It was a segment with Eddie Guerrero, who announces that his replacement for Chavo tonight will be Tajiri. But before they leave the shot, Eddie calls Tajiri family and tells him to show the camera what he's already taught him. And Tajiri would hilariously say, "We lie, we cheat, and we steal," in his strong-ass accent. And it was pretty funny. You gotta love Tajiri, and I don't think a single soul hates this man. In the next contest, they would be taking on Team Angle, consisting of Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, for the WWE Tag Team titles in a ladder match. And as you might imagine, these are 4 excellent wrestlers, and they put on an excellent match. I hate to spoil things so early on, but this is going to be one of, if not the best one we see tonight. These guys made perfect use of the ladders. They weren't just used for climbing. They were over here setting up ladder bridges and other different contraptions to hurt one another. Very creative spots in this one, especially the finish, which saw Tajiri hit Benjamin with the green mist through a ladder rung, and this would allow Eddie to grab the belts and win the match for his team. This one gets 4 stars out of 5 for me. It's almost a perfect match and so jam-packed with action that I'd say it's worth turning on the whole pay-per-view just to check this one out. It's low-key a sleeper and doesn't get talked about enough. You guys go watch it and then let me know if you agreed with my rating, because I personally love this one. Following that, we're backstage with Chris Jericho, who is getting interviewed about the IC title battle royal before getting interrupted by Roddy Piper, who's making these strange noises and movements like he's got autism. Jericho tells him, "I think you made made a wrong turn. Retirement home is that way," to which Roddy would clap back saying Jericho was the result of a faulty condom and that he ripped off his Piper's Pit with the highlight reel segments, but they'd make amends at the end. Kinda. The next match was the Battle Royal for the vacant IC title. Your participants are Jericho, Goldust, Lance Storm, Rob Van Dam, Christian, Kane, Booker T, and Test, who was on double duty tonight. Damn, I know that pay-per-view check was looking nice. Oh, and we also got Val Venus, who has a funny line at the beginning. He says, while the IC title will fulfill the fantasy of just one man tonight, I'm going to fulfill the fantasies of every woman in Charlotte, North Carolina, which obviously got a pop. And if you're going to do a cheap pop, at least make it creative like this one. Don't just name drop the town with no context. This match would begin with the classic everyone get the big man out, but Kane is able to fend off everybody and Lance Storm is the first to go. Kane would then get eliminated by everyone, followed by Booker eliminating Test. Goldust would dust Val Venus. Jericho would hit Van Dam with a triangle dropkick to eliminate him. Goldust tried to pull a fast one on his tag partner Booker T, but he would counter and eliminate him. They'd have a wholesome moment after, though, laughing it off and dapping each other up. Jericho and Christian would jump Booker for a minute before Christian would double-cross Jericho and eliminate him, leaving the final two to be Christian and Booker, with Booker T legitimately eliminating Christian with a super kick off the apron. His music would hit and he won the match until Christian would deck Pat Patterson, who was presenting the IC title to Booker. He would then take the title and smash it across his face before noticing the ref, who got hit with a dropkick earlier, regaining consciousness. He would then proceed to just throw Booker over the top rope, and the ref rang the bell because I guess he never saw Booker win or heard his loud ass music play. Very strange finish. I'm not even sure if I liked it or not. It was definitely different though. I give this match 2 stars out of 5. The biggest compliment I can give it is that it had a crazy lineup of guys, arguably all Hall of Famers. But as far as the match goes, I guess Booker won, but Christian ultimately won. I don't know, it's weird. I can't remember a Battle Royal ending like this. This might have been the first and last time they did this. Can you guys recall another time? If so, let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious. After this, we got a bullshit ass bikini contest between Sable and Tori Wilson, which ran way too long, by the way. It's crazy that this whole segment got like 4 times the minutes than the actual women's title match later on in the card did. And don't get me wrong, we love to see women strip, right? Well, I have a girlfriend and I'm not about to be on this bitch like, oh, I think Sable should have won. Her tits are definitely bigger. Like, hell no, bro. We're not about to do that on here. This was a weak segment and really brought the show quality down. Although I'm sure all the guys that had their cameras out were having a good time. Oh, and Tori would win and swap spit with Sable to end it, if you even care. You probably won't care about this next match either. It's your first singles contest though, and Roddy Piper versus Mr. America. And this match was about as good as it sounds. Just a total nightmare, and this was technically a singles match, but Hogan would bring out Zach Gowen, who Michael Cole simply refers to on commentary as the handicap kid, and Sean O'Haire was getting involved from the outside like every 30 seconds, so not really a singles match if you ask me. Vince would come out and try to break Mr. America's 3 count, but Zach Gowen would stop him, and Hulk Hogan would get the victory. I give this match a half star out of 5. It was so fucking bad, and I just wanted it to be over ASAP. Like many others, I thought the whole Mr. America angle was stupid and didn't offer any good substance. He'd just have boring matches and boring segments, and it was just overall boring. I hated seeing this blue-ass motherfucker on my screen. We did get back-to-back singles action, though, as the next contest was Triple H versus Kevin Nash for H's world title, and I will admit that the build-up to this feud was pretty slick. One week Nash was beating up Triple H so bad that he had to commit Grand Theft Auto and aggravated assault on live television just to get away from him. Kevin Nash was booked strong during the build-up because he was obviously not going to win the world title. That would have been stupid. Poor Earl Hebner, though. He was just getting bullied this entire match, getting tossed around and decked by both guys throughout the entire thing. This was basically a 2-on-1 handicap match. Triple H and Kevin Nash versus Earl Hebner. Like, fuck that. I would have called the match way earlier. You guys have to check it out for yourselves. It was kind of amusing that I'm going to give this match 2.5 stars out of 5. Despite Nash and Triple H having 5 moves apiece, the stuff with Earl made it pretty entertaining. We didn't get a clean finish, though. Triple H would get himself disqualified after putting a sledgehammer to Earl Hebner's throat. God damn. Nash ended up looking stronger though because he would deliver a jackknife powerbomb to Triple H through an announce table, and this was actually a pretty sick bump. We then hop straight into some women's action. It's a fatal 4-way match for the title between Trish Stratus, Jacqueline, the champion Jazz, and Victoria, who's accompanied by Steven Richards. And can I say how much I love this pair? Steven Richards just compliments her so well, not to mention that banger ass theme song they would come out to together. What a stacked fatal 4-way, by the way. All 4 of these women are Hall of Famers, and it's a shame that they only got like 5 minutes of airtime on the card, because this match had a lot of potential, and it wasn't bad by any means. It just definitely needed an extra 5 minutes or so, because you can definitely feel the women trying to get all their shit in quickly at some point. They had limited time but made the most of it, so I'm giving this one 2 stars out of 5. I think that's a fair rating, as this match never really slows down, but like I said, they just needed to give the women a little more time back then, and I think we would have had way more classic matches to talk about. I do believe that they could have cut some time out of that dumbass Bikini Contest and given this one more runtime, but that just goes to show WWE's priorities when it came to women's wrestling back then. Finally though, we're at our main event, and it is a stretcher match for the WWE title between Brock Lesnar and The Big Show. And I guess the reason this is a stretcher match is because of that highly meme moment where Big Show swung little Rey Mysterio on a stretcher and into the ring post. I see this shit everywhere, especially on Instagram Reels. I feel like even non-wrestling fans know that moment. But as far as the match goes, pretty entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. You guys all know Brock and Big Show's movesets, but besides that, there was a lot of stretcher smacking and rolling, and just overall a pretty violent match. These stretchers had to be made of stainless steel, by the way, because at one point in the match, Big Show is on the apron and he falls back first onto a stretcher that was on the outside, and it didn't break. This man was 500 pounds, by the way. Even Rey Mysterio came out to 619 Big Show in the dick at some point, and it was just chaotic. By the way, I completely forgot to mention, the way you win this match is by rolling your opponent past the line on the ramp, but they have to be on a stretcher. Lesnar would use that big brain of his, and he'd put Big Show on a pallet on a stretcher and drive him past the line with a forklift. Very smart. He'd close the show off by lifting Big Show high as shit in the air, which makes for an astonishing visual. Like just seeing this big 500-pound giant that high on a forklift and Lesnar just standing on top of it with the WWE title. This is such a tough shot. I give this match 3.5 stars out of 5. They really put them stretchers to use, and this match was so solid that it started a trend of stretcher matches, and they were constantly bringing this stipulation back. But spoiler alert, the rest of these matches kind of suck, and this is one of the only few good ones. My final grade for this pay-per-view is a flat C. There is a lot of filler and low spots on this show, like Mr. America versus Roddy Piper, the Austin and Bischoff segments, or that pointless Bikini Contest. Not to mention the first 2 matches should have taken place on Velocity. Now there is some decent matches like the main event, but hands down match of the night is that tag team ladder match between Team Angle, Eddie, and Tajiri. It was mainly these 2 matches that helped this show's rating out a lot, but overall, this is just an odd pay-per-view that you definitely have to watch for yourself to form an opinion on. You might like it, but I'm cool on this one and probably won't replay it again. Thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it helps the channel out tremendously. And I'm open to taking suggestions in the comments down below. Whether it's a pay-per-view you want me to review or just a random video idea, let me know in the comments. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I had a ton of fun making it, and I will catch you all real soon. Peace.